we are going to take your calls live on air. If you have any questions about immunosystems, your immunoboosting properties of wonderful organic and whole foods like chlorella. It's not organic, but it's a whole naturally occurring algae. We're going to find out more about what impact this can have on your immunity. In the first part of today's discussion, Dr. Haresh has helped us understand how we can actually take measures to ensure our ongoing health with our immune system, of course. 669-11938, that is the number you can call through to on. Dr. Haresh, thank you for staying with us. Now, we've talked about why we need to boost our immunity, of course, but I do want to broach this issue with you. So many of us think we know how to boost our immunity. There's a lot of old wives' tale out there about how we can boost our immunity, take this vitamin C and eat this food and eat this fruit and whatnot. What do we know about how possible is it to actually boost our immunity?
Okay, it is possible to boost your immunity, by taking many types of superfoods. Now, one of the superfoods, that we can boost basically how to boost your immunity is by increasing, the cells of increasing the efficiency of the cells of the immune system, basically. Now, chlorella, is known to be an excellent immune booster. Now, basically, chlorella has got another part of chlorella which is known as the CGF, also known as the chlorella growth factor. Now, basically what happens is this chlorella growth factor enhances the production of gamma interferon, tumor necrosis factor, TNF, and also interleukins in the body. Now, these three things are important because once these three things are constantly on alert mode and they are performing at the optimal level, the immune system, will be definitely in the alert mode and be boosted up.
I definitely want to find out more from you about TNF and interleukin as well, because those are really some of the key aspects that we need to take note of. But what about some of the other ways of increasing immunity, Dr. Haresh? Have they been shown to be effective? I mean, people talk about vitamin C and cutting down on sugars and refined carbohydrates.
The other ways also definitely will help in increasing immunity. Now, one way is to make sure that your body receives all the requirements of vitamins, especially A, B6, B12, folic acid, C and E. An important mineral for immunity is zinc. Now, zinc is very important, because it plays a very vital role in immunity, and also make sure you get a lot of phytonutrients in your daily fruits and vegetables.
I know that many of us are probably quite deficient in things like zinc and potassium even, probably. So that's some good advice. We're going to go to the phone lines right now and pick up your calls and your questions. We've got Jay, who's once again called back. Jay, thank you for joining us. What is your question, Jay?
Does this supplement have a positive effect on our brain cells?
On brain cells and neurofunctions. Well, the good news is, one thing I must correct you on, Jay, is that chlorella is not actually a supplement. It's actually a food, first off, isn't it, Dr. Haresh?
Exactly. Chlorella is more of a superfood. It's not a supplement, actually. It's exactly just like eating fruits and vegetables, actually. Now, your question is a very good question. Does it have an effect on the brain cells? Definitely. Because as we know, chlorella has got lots and lots of, I think I told in one of my first interviews I mentioned that chlorella has got a lot of RNA and DNA.
Correct.
Now, RNA and DNA are very important, for the brain cells. This is where it enhances the learning process and also the memory process, and it brings down all the symptoms related to aging process. So chlorella has got a very much a positive effect on the brain cells due to the high concentrations of RNA, DNA, and not forgetting all the vitamins and minerals which are required, for the brain cells to function in a normal manner.
Dr. Haresh, we should do a whole show on that, I tell you, just for that. Jay, thanks for that question. We're going to take some more calls right now. Razak is calling in. Razak, hi.
Hello, good morning.
Good day. What's your question?
Okay, a couple of weeks back, the professor was telling to be wary of products that contain only one name, one ingredient. There's one I want to ask the professor about. I won't tell the product name or the company that is selling it.
Okay.
But the ingredient is methyl sulfonyl methane, 750 milligrams.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you want to know whether this has any helpful, beneficial effect?
Yeah, true. Yeah, when I took this product, I did get some bloating in my stomach, and then constipation also.
So this was actually in a vitamin supplement that you took.
Yeah, but this I don't know whether this is vitamin or not. It's just called the product like the one ingredient. It's only one ingredient. It's
okay.
Sulfonyl methane.
Is it MSM?
Yes, correct, MSM.
Okay. Now, basically, MSM is more for joint health, actually. MSM is one of the things needed for the joint health because it gives the sulfur which is required to make the proteins which are needed, which are required in the production of cartilage. So MSM is more for joint health. Now some people may be allergic to MSM. Okay, so when you're allergic to MSM, you do show symptoms such as bloatedness, constipation. So I think it's a normal thing actually.
Okay, well, it's good that you called in because after all, our first show that you and I did together, Professor Haresh, was the idea of knowing your supplements and knowing the vitamins and the medications that you're taking. So thank you, Razak, for that call. But we've got Mona standing by with a question before we end off this segment. Hi, Mona.
Hi, good morning, Daniel and Dr. Kantilal. I've been following your program. I'm upset that this world is still plagued by diseases, illnesses we can not vaccinate against nor completely treat. Maybe the human immune system on Earth is just too complicated for scientists to know. So I feel it's not just the sheep placenta, nor the vitamins, nor the chlorella. I mean, the scientists of the world would need to come together to have a framework to investigate comprehensively, because this will impact on the way we treat cancer, infections, and transplant operations as well.
I see exactly what you mean, Mona. I mean, the whole paradigm shift is important. I mean, from the world of research as well, Dr. Haresh, I mean, you yourself are very heavily involved in the world of research. Do you see this paradigm shift? Because Mona, I understand where Mona's coming from. We hear so much about, oh, this can help this and this can help that and take this pill and take that pill. But really what we want to do is possibly solve illness and problems and disease altogether.
Exactly. So actually, Mona, you're very right. Actually, the most important thing to do at this point of life, I know we have heard a lot of this substance can help,
yes,
can help. The best thing to do is stick to a very much natural diet, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. Make sure you get your enough sleep. Okay, very important. Make sure you have a positive mental outlook and your exercise, because studies have shown again and again, okay, even if you take the enough food, if you don't exercise, okay, your immune system, okay, wouldn't be in the optimum level. So actually, all these things put together will definitely help. All of these are various methods to help you to boost your immune system, but you still have to go back to the 1, 2, 3, the basics, like proper nutrition, proper sleep, okay, proper exercise. All of this is still vital. You're perfectly right, Mona.
And we do see a paradigm shift, Mona, as well in terms of the medical world and how they are treating illnesses. It used to be about treating the illnesses and the symptoms when they emerge, but now I'm glad to see that we are seeing a shift and more about preventative in the first place. Let's hope that becomes de rigueur as well moving forward. We'll find out more about the immunoboosting properties of chlorella just ahead on Body and Soul, brought to you by abeilledor Chlorella. For more information on chlorella, please call 6339 5045. That's 6339 5045. We are talking about the immunoboosting properties of chlorella right now, and we're going to join back once again my guest on the program, Dr. Haresh. Dr. Haresh, talk to me a little bit more about the role. Earlier on, you mentioned TNF and interleukin in particular, and these are something that's found quite a bit in chlorella growth factor, or CGF. What is CGF exactly?
Okay, CGF is basically the acronym for chlorella growth factor. Now, this chlorella growth factor, basically what it does is it biostimulates, or it enhances the production of gamma interferon, TNF, which is known as the tumor necrosis factor, and also the interleukins. Now, just let me explain very quickly.
Yes, please.
Now, gamma interferon is actually a protein which is produced by the immune cells. Now, once chlorella stimulates the production of gamma interferon, now what happens? Okay, this will subsequently activate the NK cells. Now, again, sorry to be technical. Now, NK cells are actually known as the natural killer cells. Now, the job of the NK cells is to target any virus-infected cells or any cancer cells. Okay, and immediately go there and destroy the particular cells. So that once you have got intake of chlorella, automatically the NK cells will be activated. Now, besides that, we also have got tumor necrosis factor that kills cancer cells and stops the production of parasites and viruses growth in the body. Okay, the growth of viruses and parasites in the body. And the last one, which is the interleukin. Now, interleukin are actually messengers. These are how white blood cells communicate among each other, just like how we communicate. We have got handphones and radios and all, so they communicate through interleukins. So once your communication system, okay, is optimum, definitely the immune system will also be optimum.
Ah, I see. You're really making it easier for your immune system to function optimally when you add in things to your system such as ILs or TNF and gamma interferon. It makes so much sense. I see. Are these found only in chlorella?
No, they are found in several different what you call superfoods and supplements. But the main thing here is it is found in high amounts in CGF, in chlorella growth factor. It is in concentrated amounts. Okay, so normally when one consumes chlorella growth factor, okay, he will definitely slowly but surely see this difference, and automatically he'll start realizing that yes, my immune system. When is the last time I got cold and flu? It's very long ago.
Yeah.
So he'll realize that the cold and flu, the frequency will slowly start to decline.
I wish there was a way. Is there really a way, Dr. Haresh, in any way to test your immune system?
Actually, you can test your immune system. Basically, what you can do is you can see how strong you are. The best way is just to go, okay, and spend a few hours with someone who's having influenza or flu or some cold. And you see, if you pick it up within the next 1 or 2 days, that means the immune system is not very good. But there are people who still, amidst these people with cold and all, they do not pick up the infection. That means these are the people who actually have got a very strong immune system.
You talked about I don't know if I'm going to try that, unfortunately. I'm not so sure I want to stand next to someone with a flu. But I see your point. If it takes any longer than that, then hopefully you've got a good immune system. Somebody doesn't even pick it up. As a final point, actually, we've got Michael on the phone lines with us with a question. Michael, what is your question?
Yeah, actually I was going to ask about the immune system. Anyway, this is a advertising program, is this, for cholera?
Yes, that's right. It is a sponsored edition, as you heard me mention at the beginning and the middle of the show as well. I'm going to mention it again later on as well. We want to wrap it things up, actually, unfortunately, Michael, with one last piece of advice from Dr. Haresh on the role of chlorella, which is a naturally occurring algae. It's not a supplement, it's a food. And as we understand it, how much of it do we need in order to get some of those levels of interleukin and TNF that you mentioned?
For general health maintenance, okay, the consumption about 2 to 4 grams of chlorella is basically recommended. Okay, but 2 to 4 grams. You can start with a very low dosage, because whenever you introduce superfood to your body, you always start with a low dosage. 2 grams. You can start anything between 2 to 4. Okay, and it can be taken at any time of the day, but it's the best time to take it is half an hour before a meal for optimum digestion and absorption.
Okay, and if you want to find out more about this naturally occurring whole food, which is chlorella, which is of course an algae, you can find out more by calling abeilledor, which is of course this edition of Body and Soul is brought to you by abeilledor Chlorella. For more information, call this number 6339-5045. That's 6339-5045. Associate Professor Haresh Kumar from the Faculty of Medicine at Masa University College in KL, Malaysia has been my guest today. Thanks for joining me on Body and Soul.